7 years ago, the last great football game came out. Through the years, this game has been played countless times, and since its counterpart has not been keeping up the slack, it just proved that we need something new. NCAA Football 14 has provided an immersion experience that we have not seen in a football game since 2013. With its in-depth nature of having a user coming in and out of the game every day, we can't even see some of these things on Madden. And these features were back on a game that came out in 2013 on the PS3 and Xbox 360. So here's a brief history on NCAA 14 and its amazing features. The gameplay in NCAA 14 was one that was based off of Madden 13's Infinity engine, and it kind of just worked along that. So with the Infinity engine used in Madden 13, it helped and changed how football games on the 360 and PS3 were back then. Usually we had everything scripted by animation and they would just go and happen. So now we actually see how weight and force can be used on a person in the game, and it made the game a little bit more fun. NCAA improved on that, on how animations and physics could work in between. So you would see a bigger guy come at a smaller guy and pancake him or fold him. There was always something new to look at on each play, and that would make the game more fun overall because every play was not scripted by some type of animation. So now that we see in the Frostbite engine in Madden, it's not the same anymore, and everything seems like it's just a simulation. Presentation through the past NCAAs have always proven us to see how the college experience can possibly be. Now, NCAA 14 was another exception to that. It wasn't as great as the other NCAAs like NCAA 06, however, it still gave us more than enough immersion to feel like we were actually at a college football game. We still get enough halftime shows to show which team would be number 1 or number 2 at the end of the week, or which team would possibly win the conference or win the tiebreaker. We have different stories to tell us who is going to be coming in and possibly winning the Heisman, or who actually does come on top as the underdogs and prove their point this year. The sound of each college football game made us feel like we were in the stadium and singing along with them, chanting their chant and walking with them throughout the year. Hands down, also the best commentary I've ever seen in a football game since 2013, as we have different immersion factors that go into how the game is called. So for example, you can have a player coming into his senior year and you can see his previous years on how dominant or how bad he was, and this year he could either prove it or just show that he's still the best in the game. We also can see if it's a player's last game or if they're gonna have something better to do next week. Overall, the presentation made me feel like, yo, I'm actually a college student and I'm actually going to be able to play college football and prove my point. That just makes me feel like we're missing that now in today's game. Dynasty mode is the main thing that draws me into NCAA series, as it offers the most replayability and longevity when it comes to this game. You could create a team on Team Builder, a popular feature that was in NCAA games where you could create a whole team, put its own logo. You can make how many teams you want to, how they look, you can make them all unique. And then you can import them in the NCAA, and what everyone did was make them a cupcake usually, and then you could kind of rebuild them and give them your own dynasty. Another big thing in NCAA was the coaching carousel, where you can see your offensive and defensive and head coach abilities throughout the years, and if you're a small team, you can see what kind of skills they got to make you have a little bit of advantage over the other small teams. And another popular thing is that even those coaches can leave and go to a different team, be fired, or retire, as NCAA 14 provided an 80-year experience, and you can replay this game as much time as you want. You can also see the history of teams before you sign to them, see how many bowls they won, their records over the past few years, and you have different goals when you come to the team. Some teams want you to win 6 games to make it to a bowl game. Some teams want you to win 13 games. Different expectations comes to different prestige, as different teams have different ranks and different star levels when you go to them. If you see a team that you've left the previous year, you'll see that in the ESPN magazine. Small detail, but that's just adding on to the immersion factor that comes to NCAA. The biggest thing at NCAA Dynasty though was the recruiting process. You could get deeply involved into the recruiting process of getting kids to come play for your team throughout the years. Different techniques are required to get different players to be interested in your team. Some players may even be not wanting to come to your team after they already verbally committed, as you have reached their deal breaker, as you possibly sign a different prospect of the same position as them. And another big thing is getting higher end recruits for a smaller team. So let's just say you're in Texas and you're a small Texas school that you put in from Team Builder, and you still a big recruit from Texas, Texas Tech, Texas A&M. That just made it even better, because that player could be a cornerstone for your team to be great, and also give you the chance of getting different players over the years and be able to build that dynasty even better. Finally, you can also export your draft classes back into Madden this year. Madden 25 provided the import draft class feature. It wasn't the greatest, however. I'm going to say that when you import them, they won't have the same weight, but that feature just being in the game just gave NCAA more replayability, because you want to keep going year by year, get more draft classes, so you don't have to use the Madden auto-generated one. The last thing is the Road to Glory mode in NCAA. Now, just like all the other Road to Glory modes, you create a character. Eventually, you try to get to the NCAA and make your name. So, but this year, you could go ahead and have a lot of high school games, and you could actually still use the team builder feature and create your own high school. Play, however, I think you can play up to 8 high school games, and then you go on the Nike Spark rating, and you can choose whatever team you want to try to commit to. You could be a walk-on, you could be a full-time starter, or other many ways that you can play the game. When it comes down to career modes, this game still outbeats Madden when it comes to in-depth and replayability, because you can go ahead and make as many positions as you want. You can even play 2 positions while in high school and get recruited for that specific position in the game. So that being said, Road to Glory mode is just proving this point over and over again. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video. If you guys like videos like this, let me know down below. I'm kind of like doing it. This is me, your boy Javrien. Remember to follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/Javrien, twitch.tv/Javrien. My Instagram is Javrien, and my Twitter is Javrien, but with a GVO. I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember, hashtag fix Madden franchise. We gotta keep it going, and I'll see you guys in the next video.